we are going to connect our database to the form so that we should be able to submit our data. So what we are going to do, I will minimize this. I will form here. These are the text box I designed. Then I'll now come down here. Then I'll go to submit button, double click on submit button. Then this public must come down a little. Then I will import the tools I'm going to use. Import system dot data dot SQL client. So what I did inside this modules, I imported it in modules. The same thing, I will import it in form 2. I say that I've imported it. Then from here, I will now go down to this place. So this is the modules that I have the database. This is where the database is being connected. Then this is a kind of a string that I can use to call what is connected here. So and the name that I gave it is connect. It can be any name of your choice. Any name that you like, you can give it any name you like. So this name that I gave it here, I can just copy this name. I'll say Control C. It's Control C. So where I want to be doing because the modules is different from 2. This is from 2. This is where we have code. So this one is modules, it's on that page on its own. While this from 2 is on that page on its own. So I have to call that data because I cannot retype. I don't want to retype all these things again. So I just call it by using this name. It can be any character, any name you like, I give it. Sub is compulsory, and so. So I'll go to this place. I'll go to web form. Then I'll now put the word call. Call means that I want to call that connection. You can see, call is way of calling that function that I have before. So if I don't put this call, this function here, the moment I write this name, I write it here. If I write it here, it will come with everything that is happening here. This database that is here, I will make use of it in this place. So I will now put the word, and I'll say dim. The arrow is a variable that can be any letter of characters. Dim as school data reader. This is one that will make it able to connect to the form, this data reader. Then remember I told you that this place, this modules, I give it a name here, public. You can see the name. Public, CMD, can be any name of characters, any name that I like, can be this. I can write any name here. Meaning that I want to use this function in this place. That's why I call it public. So I come to this place and I say CM. You can see the CMDs appearing here, dot. For it to work on, I'll say connection. Connection equals to, yes, equals to, yes, Mongo connect. Okay, I'm coming. So enter. CMD.connect equals to. So this is kind of a command that I'll use to connect these two together. Because if you look at this place, we have database. Then we also have this sheet to connect the code that will work with the database. That's why I'm writing it together like this. Then I now say CMD dot is a command. Command text equals to. What it means that this small code that you see here is that I want to write a code that if person enter ID number twice, just like when you go to the bank, if that person has been using that ID number, if you want to enter the ID number again, the computer will tell you that that number is existing, that you should select another number. So that you will not have the same, just to prevent double ID number. Your account number in the bank must not be the same. Your account number must be different from my own, because we have 1,001 people that are filling their form online. So the moment they use account number that is existing before, the computer should show us. That's why I will now write this select command. Select select all from table. You know that in the connection I did the table. If you look at this Explorer now, this is the connection that I use for it. Then I gave it a table name, and the table name is, this is the table. I gave it a table name. This is the name of the table when I was doing the connection in database, where I have my ID, name, address. So this is the name of the table name that I use, TB table. So I'm telling the computer that you should go and check that table. If this ID is existing, wow, data 40, select all from our data, where ID equals to this two quotation like this, and this one like this, and this one like this, equals to the name of the text box, because it's where you enter your data, the text box that you enter your data. TST ID, the text box. So let me check the text box again. TST text box. So let me just check the name of the text box I use in design of my phone. If I go to Form 2 now, this is a text box. This is a text box. The name of this text box, if I go to source, I'll see the name here. So this is the name of the text box. Text box 1, text box 2, text box 3. But it's not easy for me to know which one is ID, which one is name. So I can now rename like this. I will rename it, just change it to a name that I'll quickly remember. Just put it like, let me just call it to TST ID. Then this one that is name, I will change this text, because text box 2, text box 3, I will not know which is which. That's why I'm renaming it for a name that I'll quickly remember. Now put TST name. I'm the tell them in class. TST.
Hello, is in class.
TST. Date of birth. You can see that I will name the text box, because it's text box that information we normally enter information through the text box. But I will give it a name that I will make me to quickly remember it. That this is TST phone. That's your phone number. That text box your phone number. Then TST password. Then I'm renaming it. Come to this place. Give the another name TST deposit. So if you look at this ID name, email. In case if you don't enter the email correctly, the computer should give you error message. That is why you must use what we call TST mode. TST mode equals to email, because this TST mode will tell us that in case if you enter the email and you don't enter it correctly, error message should point out that your email is not properly spelled. Maybe you did not put @ or you did not put @ or you did not put com. This one will bring error message for you. Then date of birth. Date has its own format too. That's why we use TST text mode equals to date. Then phone. This one does not have. Then password. Password too. We put the word TST mode equals to password. Then we'll now save it, Ctrl S. So you can see that I've received the ID of this text box. Like all this text box that you see here now, if you click on this text box, I've renamed it. That's why you can see where you have ID here. You can see the text box ID. I've renamed the text box to be TST ID. Like this one now that is named. If I click on this text box, I've renamed it compared to the former one. You can see the text box name. I've renamed it. So if I want to write my code inside this place now, I'll double click like this. This place that I put TST, I will now change the text box. TST. You can see the word ID. Text. And double click it. Do you see the name of the text box? This is text box that it will collect the information you put here. When you run this thing on the internet, when you run it in the internet, this is the text box that you enter. So if information you enter inside this text box, automatically this code here. This code. This code here. This is the name of the text box. So the information that enter inside the text box, this one will check if that ID is existing. That's it. Then we now put the arrow equals to CMD. So this is the code that the computer will use to become. This 1, 2, 3 line code is one that the computer will use to check for double ID number once you run the program. You can see. So this is just a code that, are you getting it? This is the code that you need to write for the computer to be checking if the ID number is existing or not. So if it's not existing, what is the computer going to bring out as a message? That's why we now use if read, if gr.read, then you can see this is the condition in case that will be something like S. Then you bring a message box. So I think we just prompt you a message box. That's why MSG. In programming, there will be a message box that will prompt you. We call it, you can use it for error message too. So this will prompt you that ID is existing. You can more advise you to look for any other ID. Let me just put the ID exists. You see, I'm telling you this message exist. We are just looking at it. Exist. Then if I want apart from making the message exist, I can try to make it look a little bit at function. So you can see the word exist in case this ID is existing twice. That's why this 3 code, you need to look at it and study it. So if the ID is existing twice, this something we check, not tell you that ID is existing. You can now say please select another ID or use any other ID. That depends on your description. What is it that is existing? Automatically it's telling you to select another ID. Then you now close it. Now put com. So at this statement we stand on your dot close. Then this will be 2. S. I can just also close this as a com. Dot close. So that's why the SQL command is given to you people. There are 3 commands used in SQL. We have the DDL, data definition language, which has to do with creating of data. So this code that I use here is being explained in that materials. Please, you go and read it against tomorrow. All this code that I'm using here is being explained. Why they use it and what did they use it for? It's being explained. So you can see that I'm using it here. So go and read more about it. Then if you want it to be having the data submitted inside the database, that's the command that we write. We call it SQL command. For to submit data, once the person fill form online, then press submit, the data will go to inside the database. So there's a SQL command for that. That's the SQL command I want to write now, which you need to study it. So we now say com dot open. Then in this place you say cmd dot, okay, just say cmd equals to new SQL command, then open it. So the materials I put, this is the command I use to enter data into your database. We call it insert. Inside the method we call it DCL, data control language. You need to study it. Insert into, I said what, into. Insert into the name of that table that we created, TBL data 40. So insert into the border, then the values that must be inserted into it. Then open bracket like this. Then each of these text box, because we have about 7 text boxes here. We have about 7 of these. I mean 6 of it. Each of these text, because it's this text box that will carry information for you. This text box 1, and the name of the text box is this text box. Then the second one, text box 2, TST name, text box 3. So all these text boxes where you fill information to online. And each of these text boxes, they have name. So each of these text box name must appear in the code. That's why I'll go back to this place that I have the code. I'll go to this code. This is submit. Double click on it like this. See, insert into. So the text box, I'll first of all put this thing like this. Then I'll now put this one, this application. Then I'll now put this and then inside this place. So this is the place I'll put the text box. Say TST ID, that's the name of the text box. Dot text. This is the name of the first text box. So if I want to do the second text box, I will put command here. Instead of me retyping all this ID, I can just copy this one and be changing the name of the text box. I can just copy it like this. Control C. Then I'll keep space. Then Control V. Then I'll now change the text box. Second text box is TST name. That's the second text box. The name is appearing here. Then I'll come here, I'll put space. Then I'll Control V. Then the third text box. What do we have in third text box? We have email at the third text box. You see the way I'm changing it. Then I'll come here. The fourth text box is Control V. The fourth text box is TST date. TST date, that's the name of the fourth text box. Then I'll come here again, give space, Control V. The fifth text box that I used was phone. No password. Forgotten. Okay. No password. So the seventh text box will be phone. Control V. And I change this one to phone. So these are the text box that is collecting the information from online. These are our text box. Then you now put command here. Command.
The text box. There's no text box.
This place here. So I don't need to put command here because this is the last one. So these are the text box that we need. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least we should have up to 7 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remaining one seems. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. The last one is deposit. That's why I should be surrounded with Control V. So the last one is deposit. Deposit. And then from here, I'll now remove this place. So we have about 7 text boxes that collect information online. Look at it. If I save this one now, and I go back to my form 2. These are the text box that's, because if I run these things on the internet, this is where you put your information. So each of the text box name must appear inside this place. You see? This is the seventh, there are 7 number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then in case the person not feel anything, I now click submit. Some people don't feel anything, they don't know what to do, they'll just press submit. That's why you must put a condition, which is if, open bracket, if this text box ID dot text, that's the first text box, if it's equals to nothing like this, then you now tell the computer again that I don't want to be typing, let me just be changing the retyping of this one because I'll do the same for all of them. So I'll just copy like this. Control 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And outputs. Then what I'm trying to say is that in case the person did not fill this text box, there must be an error message telling the person that please fill the text box. That's why I must press enter like this. Press enter like this. And now put a message box MSG. It's a message box that will be popping out. That's why at times if you are doing installation, if the installation is having error, you see a message that will tell you that it's not, or if it's not shut down, there will be a message that will tell you that your system is not properly shut down. It's a program being completed. Like this one, in case the person not fill the text box, I now go and click submit. This message will pop out. So it depends on the programmer, and some people will say, please make sure you fill the text box. While some will just say, fill the text box. The person will not put please. You just say fill the text box directly. You see? Fill the text box. Then inside if they will call X. X means that in case a click, in case he pressed, in case the person fill the text box. Are you getting me? In case he fill the text box. This one, in case if they don't fill the text box, this will give you an error message. But if he fills the text box, you can just the opposite of filling the text box. So there will be a command, which is you put a command called cmd dot, we call it execute not query. This is a kind of a command that will push the data into the database, because that SQL server is another software on its own. So this command will make it recognize it and put the data inside it. Then there will be a message box that will tell the person that your data has been successfully saved. So that means you have to write this MS text box like this. Then you open a bracket. Then you put quotation. You now say, I don't know what to put in English. So successfully saved. At least successfully saved. Then once the thing is saved, the person will want to put more than one data. You can now put a message like this. So the thing will be empty. Once you click on submit, because of all prompt error, your data is successfully saved. Once you click OK, the thing will now move to the database. You can put this code. You can say response dot redirect dot. Since you want the form to also to continue showing, you now put quotation here like this. Quotation here. You now put wipe two dots ASPX. So you know that in this place, com is opening up this data for computer to accept data. So you have to close it by putting con dot close. Because if you open the database, you have to close the database. Then this command here, we call it from this place. Modules. This command here, we call it from this place. But this command here is having open con. So you have to close it twice because this one is another one. Because you have called it in this place. this command that you're using calling it, yeah, it also have opening command. So you have to close the command here. Yes, con dot close. Then you save it. Then so we can say that we have succeeded in saving the database. So this is the code that we need to study. Then if we want to run it now, we'll run it from this place, from this launch app. Click on this place. Save it. Then the computer is telling me that this place I should put my I'm talking about the SB element. Tinubu is not. Okay. So you have seen the code. Let me stop the video.